Well, here we are. It's the big week, Forestwood Cup week. Day one of practice is winding down. We got Jason Lambert with us. Jason, this is your second Forestwood Cup you'll be attending, so congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
This is also the first time, well, other than pre-practice, but the first time you've been to Ouachita, so give me the rundown. How's she looking right now?
You know, it's August and it's in the South. I mean, it's not going to be a slugfest. I mean, it never is out here or anywhere really in the South unless you got a lot of grass. And there is a lot of grass here this time, but it's just kind of weird. It's like the grass is really good in places and it's not really good in other places. And I had a couple bites out of it today. I mean, fish are not that hard to catch here, it doesn't seem, but it's real hard to catch the right ones.
Okay. Well, the one reason I wanted to talk to you, you mentioned grass, and you know, you're a Tennessee River guy, so you're used to fishing that stuff.
Yeah.
However, you got some giant screens mounted up on your console, and I know you came here, you did some pre-practice. Looking around, there's a lot of brush piles out here. There's a lot of standing timber, a lot of deep stuff where those electronics can come into play. How much is that going to factor into your practice this week?
You know, it's going to factor a whole lot. I spent the majority of my day doing it today. When I came out here a couple of weeks ago, I came out the week of the 4th and only had like 2 days because we had ICAST the next week.
Yep, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Had an MLF event, then had the coast up north, so I only got like 2 days here, and I really didn't even bring a rod and reel. So I came and just turned those big graphs on and rode around for 2 straight days, and I found a lot of brush piles. There's a lot of standing timber. There's a lot of, I mean, there's just a lot of different offshore stuff here, and you know, it's the brush is everywhere. It's not hard to find. And it's not hard to get a bite out of it. It's catching the right one. That's what I didn't do today. You know, keepers aren't, like I said, they're not that hard to come by, it don't seem. But, you know, I had an 8 or 9 pound day today. And so, I don't know, we got to figure out how to get a better bite. You know, we got to figure out how to catch that 3 to 4 pound class fish. I mean, you know, typically in the past out here, it seems like weights are in that 13, 14 pounds a day kind of thing wins. And, you know, and 8 or 9 pounds doesn't do a whole lot of good, but if you catch 9 pounds a day and put a 4 pounder with it, and then you've changed your day. So we got 3 more days to figure that out. Man, it was hot today. It's gonna be hot tomorrow. So, you know, that's not helping obviously either. I mean, it's water temp this morning when I put in was 85 degrees.
Jeez. So,
you know, it's just August. I mean, it's just that time of year. It's tough. It's just part of summertime fishing in the South, and we'll work on it and see if we can't get it squared away.
Well, like I said, I know you haven't been here all that much, but you do a lot of research.
Yes.
And I guess what I want to know, because I did an article on whether the cup will be won deep or shallow, or maybe it's a combo of both. You can check that out, FLWfishing.com. That's a good plug.
By Kyle Lumber.
By me. But I kind of want to know, because you can go up shallow, it seems like, sometimes, and get a good bite doing that. But it's been sounding like that offshore thing is kind of getting to be the deal. So, I mean, how much are you going to split both of those this week, like trying to look shallow?
This morning I spent the first 2 hours this morning, I stayed shallow. You know, I threw some top water bait, fished some shallow grass, fished some standing timber. I did a lot of stuff shallow this morning for the first 2 hours anyway. And I think you're going to have to mix it up. I think you're going to have to fish both directions. I think you're going to have to maybe start shallow or end shallow, and put the deep stuff in the middle of the day and in the rotation somehow, some way. I just haven't quite figured out yet how to catch that quality bite deep. I haven't spent much time shallow, but there's so much standing timber and stuff here that you can fish shallow, especially in the mornings. And you know, the thing that's really going to hurt the shallow bite, those waters, it's 2 feet lower now than it was when I was here, you know, 3 weeks ago or whenever it was. So it's steadily coming down, and anytime you got falling water, it really doesn't help those bank fish very much. So, I mean, I truly feel like it's going to be one deep, you know, mainly. Whoever wins this event is going to catch the majority of their fish offshore. They may, you know, you can probably cycle, you know, a 3+ pounder in the mornings because there's a lot of fish schooling. But, you know, I saw them schooling 2 places today, and they're all 1.5 pounds for 2 pounders. But somewhere, you know, somewhere somebody's going to run into a school of those fish that are coming up, and it's going to have some 3s in it, sure.
Well, I like it, man. Well, I'll let you get rolling. Find some air conditioning, get you some food. You got 3 days left. Go get them.
Hey, thanks, Cal.
Well, we're keeping things rolling along here. Lake Ouachita, first day of practice. We got James Niggemeyer joining us. James, first year on the FLW Tour, had a fantastic season. Made a ton of cuts, and you finished, I think it was like 36th in points. I might be off on that, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in the mid-30s, yeah.
you're here at the Cup. It's got to be feeling pretty good.
Absolutely. You know, when I left my house yesterday, I was thinking, going to the Cup. I mean, this is exciting. I've never fished in a Forest Wood Cup. So, and then having it only like 4.5 hours from the house, this is nice. And I've fished here before, had some success here. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
So talk to me a little bit about that, because this is the 4th time we've had the Cup here on Ouachita. So there are several guys in the field that have seen it multiple times, but it's only been in the Cup. I guess for you, what's your experience been like here, not maybe in the middle of August?
Mine's been typically in the fall, September, October time frame. And I did come up before the cutoff.
Okay.
So I got to ride around. I didn't fish a whole lot, but I did study the FLW, the shows online on YouTube, and just to see whatever. And I've watched some of it before in the past. So to kind of get an idea of what I'm doing and kind of what the going thing is. And like I thought it was going to be, it's pretty tough.
Yeah. And I mean, we've heard that from other guys too, that, I mean, we're in the South, it's August, it's hot out, it's kind of to be expected. However, from talking to some locals, the fishing sounds like it has been better overall in Ouachita this year. And really now we're getting into that thing, you got 4 days of practice, deep fish, shallow fish. What's your game plan this week?
I'm primarily going to stick with the shallow game plan because, I mean, that for me, that's the area that I'm confident in. And if I am going to go through a grinder and go fishless for a couple hours, I think I'm going to do it more confidently fishing shallow. So I'm primarily looking at the shallow bite. Though I was looking at some schoolers and graphing around to just see if I can find an area or two where maybe you can catch a couple fish early or something like that. Or if I see some fish schooling, I'm going to take advantage of that for sure. But primarily my game plan is to stay shallow.
Well, I guess the one thing I haven't really gotten a good grasp of, and maybe you can shed some light on this, is it sounds like the grass in Ouachita is a lot better than it has been in previous trips here for the Forest Wood Cup. What are your thoughts on how like the hydrilla is looking out there?
Yeah, there's hydrilla and milfoil both, and there's some other types of nondescriptive grass out there, but it looks pretty good. I wish it was topped out.
Okay.
I wish it had, there was more of it, and the hydrilla seems like it's not as plentiful as the milfoil is.
Okay.
But milfoil is good too, but I just wish there was more of it where you could visually see it. There's a lot of it you can graph.
Sure.
And it's sparse. It's kind of scattered. I understand it's better than it's been in years, so that's great. So I expect this lake to really take a shot in the arm because of that. Really start to producing some big weights it used to. And not that it's not, fishing well, but I think it'll get just better and better. The more grass you get, the more bass.
So it adds an interesting dynamic. You go back to 15, we had a lot of guys that were catching them shallow. There was a lot of buzz baits on the bank, topwaters, some schooling fish, stuff like that. This time around, are you going to pay attention to the bank, or are you going to be looking for some of that grass that's out in like 8, 10, 15 feet of water, stuff like that? Is that how you split your shallow practice, I guess?
Yeah, I think even that grass in 8 to 15, whatever it is out there, that mid-range, I still consider that shallow.
Yeah.
That's part of my game plan.
Okay.
Both fishing dirt shallow, but then also off the bank a little bit and focusing on that grass. I love to fish grass, and if I can just do that the whole time, I'll be as happy as I can be.
Well, I guess with 3 days left in practice, Ouachita, it's not really a huge lake. It's just got a lot of nooks and crannies you can kind of get into. How much of the lake did you explore today, and do you plan on looking at the rest of it, or do you kind of have a section you want to stick to?
I didn't see a whole lot of it today. I like to not bite off more than I can chew. I like to try to pick a little area and try to figure out what's kind of get a beat on what's going on in a given area. And then tomorrow I'll branch out and check another section and then another section and just see if I can find something that's better, or if I can duplicate what I've found today and different things like that. I don't know where I may end up way up one of the rivers. I don't really know. I think I'm going to try to keep my mind as open as I can at the time being.
Well, I guess the final thing I want to ask you about is we're supposed to get some rain later in the week, so it sounds like maybe during the tournament it'll either rain and it'll be a little cooler. However, in practice it's supposed to be kind of hot. How does that factor into your practice, like the mental aspect of fishing?
Well, I love the fact that we're going to get some weather. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get some weather. I think that's going to really help the shallow bite. It's going to help what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Maybe get a little color in the water. I don't know, but I just think it'll mix it up a little bit more. It'll kind of change things around, and I think it'll make the deeper bite a little tougher. but it may not. But I think
On
looking
paper anyway, it should.
yeah, looking down the road, I like the way it looks like we're going to get a little change in weather, and even 92, 93. That's pretty cool for August in Arkansas.
That is very true, especially if you talk to a lot of guys that were here pre-practice. That
Oh,
were like
sweltering.
heat index
Yeah.
120 plus or something stupid. I don't know. I'm from Minnesota. I don't do that. So I'm happy with how the weather's going to shake out.
Yeah,
this
it's
week.
right. It's really nice right now.
Well, James, I'll let you get to some air conditioning, go get some food. You got 3 more days of practice. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Thanks for having me.